Hello again. This this new region is proving to be a great source of inspiration for new videos. And typical of my channel, I tend to go off on different tangents. But I discovered this wonderful bridge with the waterfall and water rapids going over the road. I discovered that in my inventory when I was rezzing stuff out, and it used to be on my old sim called Aratura, a big 6x6 bar region I had, and it used to be on that, and it was one of the high mountain peaks on the region. And I thought, wow, that is going to fit in really well with the racetrack here. And it was sort of part of a country lane or a country highway type thing called the Calumet Highway. And I thought, okay, I've pulled that out. I've already done a video. I've now got to terraform a mountain. So I did a video on one of my other regions, Boyo Island, I think it was, a few years ago. And it just had the basics of terraforming by hand. I thought I'd just quickly terraform this mountain as sort of a part 2 follow-up to that video. So that's what we're doing. We're getting straight into it, no preamble. Let's go. I'll zoom out. That looks all very normal there, but as I zoom out you'll see it's anything but. It's hollow. There's nothing under it. Okay, so this piece of road, I've already measured it and placed it. As you can see, there's trees and a couple of sculpty hills there and a sculpty waterfall. So I pulled this in as a grouped object out of my inventory, which is how I saved it. Whenever I shut down or decommission an old region, I'll take chunks of it that I think one day I might recycle, and named it accordingly so I could find it again. And here we are. Was it Aratura's 2017, so it's 5.5, 6 years since this has come to light, and we're going to use it again. So okay, let's go straight on the terraforming tools, edit terrain. We're going to raise this. We want the base to be quite large. We don't want super strength. We're going to about 2/3. Here we go. We're going to have to build up the back of it. So judging by that flat section here, this must have been a flat hilltop. So we're going to, how is that? Oh no, that's too weak. Strengthen that a bit. Okay, so you can see the ground coming through there. If it's going to be that large, we need quite a big base. Now, one thing I probably should have done first, and I'll correct in a minute, is removed all those jolly trees, because they're going to end up getting buried if I'm not careful. Not remove them, I'm just going to shift them because I'll recycle them. So I'll move this fella out here. Near the ones near the base anyway, there's a couple there, that mango tree up the top, I won't bother moving that, and these ones growing out of the side of the sculpty prim, we won't move those either, but those ones we will. Okay, so the rest of those should be fine. Righto, keep raising, raise land. We'll actually increase that because that's going quite slow. I think I've forgotten the scale of this region. No, now it's too fast. Gee whiz. Okay, here we go. So the base of this is covered. We want that to be covered. We might even start flattening a little bit now so that it... flatten is actually one of the faster tools. And we will... because all this is going to be covered. That water is a phantom, by the way. If you don't know what a sculpty prim is, it's old tech, sort of before mesh became common. They were quite popular for a couple of years, and I know it's very uncool. I still use them. I don't actually make them, but The ones I've got in my inventory, I still use the jelly things. There's nothing wrong with them. They don't take as long to res as mesh does, because essentially it's just a texture. You're not uploading all these different triangles. Okay, right here we're going to raise that up to the water to get to a decent point, a platform there. Okay, now we're going to drop it just a little bit. We'll use smooth to drop that. Okay, and now we'll use flatten. Lovely, lovely. So we'll flatten around there. We'll go in, so you can see we've got a sneak in behind the mountain there. We don't want anyone seeing how dodgy that is. So what we'll do is just move it under the road a bit. This is the way I normally make things, so that, yeah, that's what I've done in the past. I'd say as I've built that up under the road, and we don't actually want the sides of this to be visible either, so it's really, most of that waterfall is hidden. Okay, so come around here on this side. We'll keep building up that height. Now, the sides of this will obviously need to be covered. I'm assuming this will have to go back further. I'll take that back further for now. And I'd say there's going to be a second, or a hilltop, a slightly higher section. Raise again. We'll just do a small hill here. And I'm just going to hand raise some areas there for the time being. That will do nicely. Okay, now we'll smooth this out. So bearing in mind that sea floor is actually 20 meters deep, so I'll probably need to build that up a little bit. Over this area it's only about 1 meter deep, but it drops right down there. Bang, bang, bang. We'll join it to the shore there under those timber pylons. Right, now we start just smoothing it out. We can still repack it. You don't have to worry about it being perfect. So obviously we're going to need to create a section where that water flows down into the sea. We'll just continue. This isn't a full finish yet. We're just trying to give it shape and seeing how the what magic the smooth tool does, and that's coming along very nicely. I think the hill has to be taller yet, but and that base in the water has to probably be built up a bit to look more natural. But already that's looking fantastic. So I think what we'll do here, and I reckon this is what's happened in the past, is I've used that flat section as a pool. So it's been like a spring coming up and feeding that waterfall. So what we're going to do here is I'm just using the flatten tool here. I'm getting in the water. I'm going to take it back a bit and just find the edge of it. About there, that should be heaps. So what I'm going to do, how tall is that? That's a bit high for my liking. What we'll do here is drop that a little bit. Just there. Okay, it was too much. Okay, first of all, let's get rid of that because that's doing my head in. And that's exactly what we need to happen actually there. That looks good. I don't mind having a little bit of landscape over the edge of the road because that looks a bit more natural, like the grass growing over the edge. And you just smooth that, you just little bits of smoothing later on. That's actually one of the finishing points. We won't dwell on that. Okay, so I'm going to try and build up, just build this in so it's more like a pool. Flatten. I'm going to flatten that out to the sides. Good. That one in there. So I want it to be like a pool, and then a sort of a bottleneck. So going smooth, you'll see that the size is getting smaller and smaller as I do the more intricate bits, and I'm keeping the pressure at around 1/2 at the moment, the strength, sorry. I know when I'm building I sometimes use words out of context. I did one of my videos, I think the first video I did on this region the other day, I kept saying square meters instead of meters, and I watched it later on and thought, oh, you idiot. But yeah, I assume that people know what I'm talking about. When I'm building, I get in the zone, and it's kind of why I forget to do videos, because as I said the other day, it's a bit of a hobby more than it's just a passion rather than an income stream. And I come in here just to chill, and I totally forget to make videos, and then it'll occur to me, hang on, I've got a YouTube channel, I should be producing content. But yeah, it's the way I roll. At least you know I'm doing it for fun and not trying to piss in your pocket. So I'm not just feeding you bullshit to support a sponsor. If you can hear that funny licking noise, that's my dog. She's just walked back in, and she's having a big mouthful of water. Okay, smooth, size. So I've built up the base there just a little bit in the water. I'm smoothing it out a bit now, and that just helps the base look a little less vertical. Of course I'll polish this more yet. See, that's looking jolly good. What I have to do yet is we have to work out how we're going to make that flow into the sea, because we want that to hit the water. It doesn't make sense what we're seeing there, so we'll do that next. Hello puppy dog, how are you? I can't pat you right now if you go. Okay, that looks good. I think we've actually got pretty much the final shape of that hill. That's all tweaks and twiddles now. Those sculpties, the ugly bits of the sculpties, are all covered, so that's great as well. We'll zoom in there. Those trees, there's one tree there that's a little bit suspect, one tree trunk. So it may have actually been inland at some point, but we'll just move it to there so it's coming out of the sculpty. And there was another one there. That mango tree up the top's also growing out of the road instead of the hill. I think the placement of that fella is interesting. It implies that this was a lot flatter down the bottom than I've made it. So let's have a bit of a twiddle there, hey? Okay, so what we're going to do is go directly over the base of that waterfall and do a test hole, as they say in archaeology. Lower land, we'll make a test pit rather, test pit. Strength, very small area. And let's go down and see if we hit water. Come on, give me some blue. You know you want to. That's seawater there. Oh, there's a bit of blue there. Oh no, that looks like... yeah, there's hillside in there. Okay, but that is actually natural water. That's kind of what we want anyway, so we'll increase the size, keep the strength the same. Ah, there we go, beautiful. Now let's just try flattening that. Yeah, so we'll flatten that and we'll just build it up again. How far out does it come? So it sort of goes into there. So, righto, that's at ground level though, so we'll pull that out. Actually, we'll take it in from the coast, because that's going to be the actual, the outlying area is going to be more closer to the depth that we want than the inland area. Okay, that's looking quite nice. That's pretty good. We'll smooth out that edge now. Smooth out all of that so that it doesn't drop away too much. Cover up some of that more obvious, so we need a bit more size there just to smooth that out more. All that chat you see coming through the side of my screen is every time one of my NPCs comes online or goes offline, it sends me a little notification there. Okay, so we still need to fix that bit. I'm not happy with there, so we're going to put a rock over there in a minute, but let's tidy up this section here. Lower. Actually, we'll flatten because we know that's the right height. So we'll flatten to there. I want to try and keep that little hook though. That's kind of cute there. Though it might not be natural. Do a bit of a hook, but not too much. Smooth. We'll size that down again. Let's do that. And that. That looks, oh, actually, yeah, that kind of looks alright. No, it doesn't. It looks silly. Not in the middle. Just flattening there, using the flattening tools again. Smooth. So it's these little tweaks and twiddles, hey, it's these final trims that make or break a region. You can tell when something's been built with attention to detail or just slapped together. And it's another thing with OAR files. I touched on it yesterday, a few things with OARs, but sometimes, and also TGA files and RAW files, when you're importing them for your landscapes, they can lose the landscape. So when you have a RAW file, it's made up of 256 by 256 square meters, and each meter is 1 point. So your raw file, it's actually straight lines between each point. So when it's imported, you don't get all these subtle smoothing that you get with actually hand terraforming. I think with your OAR files, it goes out as a PNG, and that is actually an image rather than the old school raw file. So that's a lot more rasterized, so it's smoother, but you're never going to get as smooth as you can with hand terraforming like we're doing now. Yeah, sorry to go off on a techie quadrant then, but you know, no, I'm not. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, no, I'm going to get rid of that because it's that volume of water coming down. There wouldn't be that sort of it's going to be more of an open, that looks more natural. Okay. Final smooth on the bottom there, then we're dropping a rock on it. Look, I can live with that, that's okay. I can live with that. Let's just pull out. That looks quite good. That looks quite good up there. What I will actually do here, there's a lot of water volume coming out of that. I'm hoping I kept my scripts in there, or I may have to, I'll have to put a new script in. Has there got a script in it? Oh yes, animate texture, okay. Because that speed is way too much. So let's go into that script, animate texture, and on a smooth loop, all sides 0.1. Okay, so that speed is 0.1. Let's drop that to 0.02, so a fifth of what it is. Okay, that's much slower. So now we need to drop this as well. That's probably too slow. We're going to take that up to point 0.4. Okay, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Okay. Excuse me one sec. Right, just rousing at the dog. She licks her paws and creates a hot spot on her skin. It's very frustrating. Animals and children, I tell you. Okay, animate texture. We're going to drop this one. So that's at 0.16. That's a hell of a... Oh yeah, okay, because I thought, right, faster speed for the volume of gravity. So we're still going to reduce it. Let's try taking it to 0.1. So we have the other one, just under half of the other one. So let's go to... let's just go to 0.1, see what that does. That looks a lot better. 0.08. Again, I can tweak and twiddle this later. I think that looks a lot better. Yeah, that looks a lot better. So what we'll do is chuck in some boulders now, and here's some I prepared earlier because I actually imported some. Whoa, I'm stuck on something. Just res one out of my inventory. Righto. What are they called? A rock boulder or some bloody thing? Rock. OCK. Landscaping. Okay, river rocks 1. That looks like what we're chasing. Yep, it didn't really need a link set of 57, but we can delete all those later. We will take, let's just take those 3 there. Bang, bang, oh, bloody tree. Unlink, unlink, relink, pull them down. Okay, so we want those nicely submerged there. See, they're the same texture as the waterfall, and they're also glossy to insinuate that they're wet. So I'll put these here just to again, I'll just tweak and twiddle them a little bit. I might even rotate that whole thing. Okay, now that to there, and put that one, maybe rotate that a little, bang, and that one, lift him a little, stretch him a little. That'll do. Doesn't have to be perfect. Nature is not perfect. I hate things looking too constructed. Rotate. We'll throw in a some water trees. So just happens to be another thing I make. Collapse the inventory, landscaping, trees. We want a coral sea pandanus, and Queensland mangrove, a couple of those around for the fish to swim in. Another one just there. Oh. Just there. Stretch him, make him a little bit bigger so it's looks a bit different. Lovely. Okay, so that's our terraformed hill. Oh, hang on. But he says too excited. Actually, I just found a fault, which is good. Drop those trees. Might take them over there. Then back. Lovely. That mango tree is still poking out of the sky. I think by the looks of this, this was all flat here as well. But I quite like the look of that. Just because something was a certain way doesn't mean it's the only way it can be. I quite like the way that's setting. It's showing more of the shape of the mountain. So what I'm going to do here is just, I could delete this altogether, but no, recycle it. It's still valid. I'm going to pop them on this side of the road just to break up that landscape a little bit. Okay. I did notice over here, oh, that might be why. Look. See, that's poking out. So that's why that needs to be built up. But still, I don't need to be brutal about it. We will cover that. Okay, so here is that height. Let's bring it out a bit. Okay, and then we're just going to raise. And these are the little things I want to actually show you. I've shown you the other stuff, but these are the tweaks and twiddles. And these, as I said before, these are things that really separate a good region builder from an average one. If you want people to come along and go, damn, that is really pretty. Or if you want to look at it yourself and just go, wow, I'm really proud of that job I did. You actually appreciate taking an extra minute or two. Okay, so that has covered that little edge. Actually, it still needs a bit of work. Just raise, much smaller area. We're just going to do this so subtly. We're going to have taken a bit of that edge of the water itself. Actually, that makes sense to go right over that because there's no water flowing out of it, is there? Okay, we're going to try something else. We're just going to try moving that prim back a bit. It doesn't really need to be out that far. How is that? That looks quite good. Okay, we're going to raise down here a little bit because that's not going to smooth out properly otherwise. And there. Smooth. Oh, sausage. Welcome to terraforming. Lovely. Yep, that's nice. We'll flatten that central bit out now. A little bit of grass on the side of the road, that's perfectly fine. Okay, a little bit of a raise there just to cover that. No, it had flatten on. You goose. Raise. God, I love it when a plan falls to pieces. Come on, there we go. Righto, now we have to do the same thing on this side. but it looks less dramatic here because we do have underground land there to build on, which we didn't have on the other side. A little bit more just there. Okay, now let's subtly smooth that. Just want little incremental smooths. And there. Keep going. One more I think will be about all we can do. Yep, lovely. Okay. Now just to add a little bit of realism there, we'll put in another few plants. Spear grass, that'll be nice. A bit of spear grass there, and some more over there. Xanthoria grass tree maybe. There we go. And maybe another coral sea pandanus with parrots. Stretch. Beautiful. Okay, so I could spend, and I will spend another hour tweaking this, but I just wanted to show you that whole process. So as you can see, that took us 30 minutes. Sorry, I didn't mean for the video to take us that long, but yeah, so that's what we went to, and that I'm very proud to have that on my region. I hope you found that interesting, and it shows how easy it is, and no worries, we'll catch you in the next video. Okay, bye.